And
Guys,
we are back.
this is how the sausage gets made.
This is how, the sausage gets made. Except this isn't a fine sausage. This is like bargain value, ballpark, shit francs. So, yeah.
Yeah. Which is what just happened to Jomon.
Right. So,
Okay, so moving on.
that's bad news for Jomon. Now, they have this army out here, but the question really isn't whether they have the army. The question is, do they have a plan?
I mean, look, they still have Ryujin, so they're not dead.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And this army from Bogarus is sitting here just looking with their little chins above the fence, and their vulture claws just ready to go. I'm like, hey, what's going on over here, guys?
By the way, what's going on with the horrors in Bogarus here? Do they,
Oh my
multiply?
god.
That's been there for a while, but then this one here, there's like a story event going on here.
Yeah. I don't remember if the horror cult can spread, but this is from a horror cult.
Yeah.
Horror cults are pretty big deals. You need to get rid of them if you've got them. And there's no good way to get out of them. I think you have to I can't remember what it is. There's some criteria to get out of a horror cult. Do you remember?
No, we'd have to look it up on the...
I think you have to get your dominion to a certain level, but the problem is you have to have people preaching in a land that's probably going to get pegged by horrors. So...
but again, it's Bogarus, so you can just bring some H3s and they're pretty good against horrors anyways, but...
Well, sort of.
Yeah, I guess they have high MR, so they're not that good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Well, they'll preach fast. They won't have to be there long.
Yeah. So anyway, but it's a challenge, and you need to treat it, take it seriously if you've got a horror cult.
Because Bogarus' land couldn't be shitty enough. It had to be infested with horror cults.
Right. But we don't know if he took misfortune or not, the free scale.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's required. I don't think it's required for horror cults, but I think it definitely helps them flourish.
Also something we'd have to look at.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Why don't we take a look then at Marignan, Ulm, Utgard. So on the southern border there, looks like they're just fortifying their entrenched positions between Marignan and Ulm.
Yeah.
So that
this is like the North Korea-South Korea line.
Yeah.
Big armies staring at each other.
In the north, Utgard still has a big chunk of dudes in his cap. And it looks like Marignan, so he stormed and also dispatched like a small army southeast.
Now, this southeast army came from here. So this was the Marinese army sailing across the throne. Hey, guys. Okay. You remember me?
I think Marignan could have. He didn't have to probably storm with everything he stormed with. He could have, moved on to another province with Ulm, but he chose not to. There are very few of these moves are bad for Marignan.
Right.
Like, pretty much anywhere he goes is going to be a success.
Yeah. Well, I mean, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. But, he's got a lot of good choices in front of him. Let's put it that way.
But now he has the choice. Do I come here and take out this fort? And I think this is the most obvious move, but, he could do other things.
Yeah, I like that move. I like the idea of inflicting damage to Ulm. Utgard is so weak that you can't really inflict more damage to Utgard unless you're just killing him. Because you already took his forts. He's got a little cut-off fort to the northwest.
Right.
And, they're not even forts, so, palisades.
Right.
You took his throne already. You could raid him a bit more. But
he's not on the clock for fighting Utgard. Utgard's on the clock fighting him.
Yeah, so... so go ahead and be a pain and inflict some damage on Ulm, I say.
Yeah.
And I would even, let's go... If he has good scouting, he might know that now Ulm's thrown to Ulm's northeast. is
undefended,
now vulnerable.
Yeah.
So he can go and it just sit on it with a small army just to like stop recruitment. That happens to be a throne of water that allows you to recruit hydromancers. So no reason to let him get access to those water mages. Just sitting on it to be annoying.
Right. Okay. So that's this conflict, and then
I think that's it for this turn. I think we talked about everything, right?
All right. Well, let's go ahead and pull up the next one. So the next one's 45.
Okay. Appeared to be missing turn 45.
I sent it to you as an extra one, but...
Oh, maybe it's just named weirdly. Hang on.
No, it's not. It was actually missing. I sent it to you, but...
Oh, okay.
Maybe you just follow along for this one.
It on your screen, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Satis had bravely rode out, but now decided to instead raid this way. And Raga
decided he's got enough.
Said it's time. And this is a little force small enough that makes you say, I wonder how many assassins are inside this fort.
So actually what we should do is let's look at the report and let's...
Count the mages?
Yeah, count the commanders here. So I see 10, 21 commanders.
Great.
Okay.
Which, by turn 45, it is totally possible there are 20 assassins inside that fort.
Oh, at least. I'd be disappointed if there weren't more.
Yeah.
Okay, so 21.
Let's see if he did guard commander. Nope. Most of these guys do not have guards.
All right. Well, that might, he
can change it.
The script. He could. All right, 21 commanders. Now, he could have a pile of scouts there that he didn't attack with. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay.
Okay. Jomon and Atlantis?
Jomon and Atlantis. So Atlantis has moved to the left.
Jomon is in...
Jomon has moved to his cap, and he had an army here the previous turn.
Yeah. And underwater...
Oh my goodness.
Something happened.
So I feel like this is a lot of his remaining Ryujin.
Mm-hmm. But they're still in water elemental mode.
Is this another hero? I think so. I think these are two heroes.
Yeah.
So he says, I'm going to get you.
A lot of the water elementals are getting distracted by those, shrimp.
Yeah.
He actually has, more water elementals, but they're not all fighting together.
And meanwhile, this is probably, equal... I mean, at the beginning it was equal amount of water elementals, but Atlantis also had troops. And
yeah,
water elementals have no protection, and they don't have terribly high defense, so if you surround them with troops, they tend to kind of die. And then they're obviously going to distract these water elementals from killing these ones. So basically, there's an advantage to having some troops around your water elementals, unless you have an enormous amount of water elementals. In which case, the troops just slow DPS. So, well, this has gone the way of Atlantis. Oh, and there weren't enough... This is the other problem with doing this kind of attack. There's no HP loss, which is going to trigger the mages to run. Because you didn't really have any troops.
Yeah, it wasn't enough of a disaster to stop it from becoming an ultimate disaster.
Right. And now, this, I think, is the end of Jomon's ambitions underwater. With finality.
Yeah.
Because now his only water mages are all dead, basically. And he might have 1 or 2 or 3 of them left, but never going to be enough to outwater elemental spam Atlantis. So there's that. What do you do as Atlantis? Do you think you go for the cap? Have a big battle? He's got reinforcements coming in.
No, all you need is a dude with wailing winds.
Yeah.
Like literally send the thug with wailing winds and like guard commander.
Oh, come on. It's not that easy.
Okay, no, fair enough. Because he does have a ton of chaff. But like... Yeah, there's nothing...
No, you want a big army in front of your guard, or wailing winds.
Yeah. No, obviously send your troops in. Like, because Jomon spent a huge part of his mage corps in that earlier fight.
Yeah.
And the good mages are slow to recruit. So you're only fighting chaff. I think you just seal the deal.
Yeah.
Although, actually...
I think your best bet is do, like, if you're Jomon, do, like, a Ryujin Foul Vapors trap on top of the cap. With thugs. And those would be, like, the last of the Ryujin. Because there's only this one fort, and a lot of them died here.
Mm-hmm. Now, I was saying that, but as Atlantis, actually, what you probably want to do is you want to take the provinces east to make sure that Bugarus doesn't get them.
Oh, these, yeah.
Yeah, you want
to
go there first.
Yeah, if you're Bugarus, you're thinking, okay, this is time to make a move.
So I'm surprised that Bugarus hasn't moved in yet. It is possible that Bugarus had a nap with Jomon.
Yeah.
However, if there's ever a situation where you kind of want to break a nap, like by violating the terms of the nap, these are the most common, which is not like... So a couple turns ago, that would have been a real dick move. So I'm assuming, let's suppose Jomon has a nap with Bugarus. Like, Jomon is still trying, and he still has a chance to make something happen against Atlantis. Getting, betrayed by your neighbor, that's like, that sucks. That's like, I would try to remember who that player was, right?
Right.
And like, but in this situation... I think, as of this turn, or as of maybe last turn when the big battle happened, I'm kind of feeling as Jomon, like, look, I'll take out as many of Atlantis' troops as I can as I'm going out, but I'm out of this game. Now, for diplomatic reasons, he might not, like, maybe he feels like, you know what, Atlantis, you defeated me, good on you, you get my land. He might not want to give his land to another player. But...
Right.
That might be the kind of situation where you understand if, like, Bugarus is like, look, dude, I saw the battle. You're dead. You're out of the game. I need to stop Atlantis from winning, so I'm going to go and take your land before he can, even though this is 2 turns before a nap is supposed to end. Like, that is kind of, like, the only circumstance.
Most of the time, if people know they're going to lose, they'll let you out of a nap.
Yeah, people are generally good about it. So there's no shame in communicating that. Like, if you're Bugarus, you can be in touch with Jomon and be like, look, I'm keeping an eye on it. I want to get your stuff before Atlantis does. I'll let you fight it out as best you can. But if I see you're about to lose, I'm just going to come in, nap or not. And, people, as long as you're not like ruining the fun and the chance for, the besieged player to make a play, then that's okay.
I normally do it as a question, or if they don't want me to, I won't. But
yeah,
I also normally will, like, technically end my nap and then say I'm not going to attack if I see the writing on the wall.
Right.
That way I'm not constrained by it. But
yeah. Okay. What's going on?
In the south, it looks like he's not making much more progress. He's accepted these borders.
Yeah,
with Bugarus.
He doesn't want to fight Raga or Marignan. So that's
Though he got attacked by Bogus down here. So rip.
Nice. Well, by this point in the game, Boguses might be a gift of items.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I mean, as Bugarus, I feel like it's going to require a fair amount of mage commitment and troops to deal with still. So.
Fortunately, he has nothing else better to do at the moment.
Get some Firebirds.
Yeah.
Spicy. That's good. That is its whole own economy once you get enough Firebirds. Okay, who should we look at? We haven't really... Okay,
we have to look at the big 3-party war here.
Oh boy. So alpha move by Marignon. Does not say I'm going to go have a battle here, which, by the way, it looks like Ulm was ready to fight him.
Which I think Ulm would have lost.
I think Ulm would have gotten crushed, but we don't know what kind of tricks Ulm had up his sleeve for this fight.
Yeah. Marignon is deciding to go for the kill.
And he's got a reinforcement army here.
And
so,
he sailed to the southeast.
Right.
Okay.
So potentially he puts this fort. I think this army may be able to one-turn pop this fort. Probably not, but like very close.
Yeah. But even if it can't, that's a great move, right? To lock that down.
Right.
That big army, no way it goes east. It has to go back to the cap.
Has to.
So good. So, in other words, Marignon has decided that he will win this Doomstack battle.
Right.
And based on that, he has made the pretty perfect set of moves to force the battle and force the checkmate against Utgard.
Right.
So, we were talking last episodes about how this could turn into a great move against Ulm if he kept moving against Ulm. But Marignon has made made an alternate decision, which is no, I can kill Utgard, and so let's make that happen. And I think, I'm very excited to see what that battle's going to look like.
Yeah, we might be able to get to that this episode too.
Did anything else happen in the south of Marignon between Ulm and him? No.
No, I think just posturing, right? Just pinging.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was an actual gem bait. This was a mage with 4 gems, but that's not going to do it on a one-path mage. Well, he's actually casting things. Harmark.
What is he casting?
Oh, Harmark, just wasting pearls.
That's weird.
Harmark does not do much, my friends. I would mark Harmark as extremely situational. Meaning, even in the situations it's good to use, it's of dubious value. All right. I guess that's it for this war. And probably for this turn. I think we've been through the conflicts, right?
Yep.
Let's go ahead and pull up turn 46.
Let's do it.
Turn 46. A message from Satis. I suppose Raga didn't appreciate my scenic drive through his provinces. It's funny. And, let's go check this out. Let's start back over here. So, scenic drive, and it appears the scenic drive is continuing. And this fort is now cracked.
And unfortunately, we can't look at the number of commanders this turn. It was at 21 last turn.
Right. And it getting cracked, though, gives us a hint, because one of the things you accomplish through like mass assassins in a fort is if you get the commander that was holding all the troops, then you slow the siege down.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Raga's army is like entirely flyers that happen to be very strong also.
Right.
So bad news for resisting sieges.
Right.
But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see next turn how many commanders actually participate in that battle. Okay, speaking of Raga, is Lemuria officially dead now? I think so.
Let's check the messages. Or was that last turn? We missed it. There's no more. Maybe it was last turn we missed it.
Oh, well, sorry, Lemuria.
But if you guys have a drink in hand, pour one out. Rest in peace, ghosts. I guess closing thoughts on the Lemuria conflict. It was fun. Enjoyed watching it, but that's what you should expect this Lemuria. It's basically exact situation.
So I guess one of the things we mentioned early is that Lemuria kind of was a bit too greedy and built a lot of forts too far away from his capital.
Right.
I think in the fighting itself, that didn't per se turn into a liability. It's just that you could have, you're going to be attacked, so you want to have a defensive ring of forts, to your advantage.
I think palisades for Lemuria are a liability. I think once you get it to level 2 or level 3, then they're an advantage. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you still get the same number of ghosts from Palisade, so... But, like, anybody and their mom can go crack a Palisade. You know? But somebody's going to have to do a significant effort to start cracking the level 2 forts.
And I think in the end, Atlantis came out reasonably well in his fight against Lemuria.
Yeah,
He lost
little waged. Yeah, he lost one fight. But he didn't wager much. It was like very little money on the table for Atlantis.
Yeah, he didn't commit too much. He lost a little bit, but he got the underwater throne and a few provinces. So that ended up going well for him. Raga
got the cap.
Didn't lose too much either. Like he committed more, lost more, but didn't lose too much.
Didn't lose too much. The main reason Raga didn't conquer Lemuria earlier was because he pulled out to have this huge conquest to his west. I mean, to his east.
Yeah.
So
turned out great for Raga because he committed more and gets the cap, and it looks like all those provinces seem to have a ton of gems in them, just north of Lemuria's
oh my gosh,
capital.
yeah.
What is going on there? And then Utgard.
Total distraction.
Well,
he lost a lot.
He lost a lot because of Marignan. What do you think?
No, he lost a lot versus Lemuria too.
Right, but if he had, I agree.
That took all the wind out of his sails after expansion.
Yeah. So he committed a lot of sacreds early on and lost those. And I think proportionately, like compared to Raga and Atlantis' commitments, it was a bigger commitment from Utgard. And he didn't get as much, even if we ignore the fact that now he's lost it to Marignan. Even if we still had it. And then Gath is perhaps the worst off, who actually managed to lose his big army of quickness regenerating gibbors because they were all starving, and did not get the
anything
or
wisdom, the
which was his objective the whole time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Holy crap! I've never seen this site before. The Gunamon.
Boost astral ritual range by 3 provinces.
That means you can hit any province on the map, just about.
With like a mind hunt, yeah.
Yeah, mind hunt, teleport, you can go anywhere. Ticket to anywhere. Yeah, I think this goes to show one of the problems with coalitions again, which is just that the rewards and the costs are not going to be distributed evenly ever. So. Like, the costs in this case were unfairly burdened upon Utgard and Gath, and the rewards were disproportionately burdened to Raga and Atlantis, who both committed kind of the least.
Actually, I think I agree with the second part. I don't know if, I don't think Lemuria tried to punish, for example, Lemuria didn't try to punish Gath more than the other partners. Gath just kind of screwed up, right? And
it's not. I mean,
but I kind of feel the same way about Utgard. Like Utgard, Lemuria fought back against Utgard. Like Lemuria, I feel he fought back equally against everybody. In fact,
he did.
Detriment, right? And we commented on that how sometimes he should have just doomstacked and killed one opponent, and instead he was trying to fight everybody back equally
at the same time. Yeah.
But
even in that case, the rewards still aren't doled out. The rewards and costs still aren't doled out evenly.
Yeah. So in other words, who navigated this coalition better? And clearly Raga and Atlantis did.
Yeah.
Right.
And they did that through like limited commitment and trying to get other people in the coalition to spend more and get less. Like, you kill the Lemurian stacks, or you wear them down, and then I'll come in and get the forts.
Yeah. I feel there was less of that in this game. I don't. We could ask them later, but I don't feel like early on Atlantis or Raga were like, oh, let's have Utgard weaken Lemuria because Utgard failed.
No, what they did was they put in smaller medium forces. Like, in no way were Raga or Atlantis all in on the Lemurian front at all. Right? They put in medium forces, which were scary and would occupy the Lemurian army. And they waited kind of for the other. They were very non-committal.
Yeah. Well,
anyway,
that's the end of that for Lemuria.
Yeah, pour one out. Well played.
Let's go
Good game.
to Atlantis and, speaking of Atlantis and Jomon.
Oh boy, there's a cat battle. What I always wanted. Oh, and Jomon doesn't even defend. He doesn't use his PD. I don't know if that's the right call or not, but I think you have to use whatever you got here and fight outside the fort with as much PD.
Yeah, unless he's got, like, I don't know, some key tech that he's missing, or some weird logistics with getting the Ryujin in place and geared up. Well, I guess we'll have to see in the next couple of turns if it was any of those reasons. But
like we saw, the fort battle favors Atlantis more, I think. So.
I think so, yeah, because he has higher quality troops.
Yeah. Well, and they're retreating his death and all that stuff. So.
Yep. Okay.
Bogaru is still standing on the border.
So I think it's worth, like, I think Bogarus is wasting time here.
Yeah.
I think, now we don't know all the Diplo behind the scenes, but I kind of feel like Bogarus needs to make a move here on something. Right. He should have started making the move a while ago. We both were saying how Jomon makes sense, and I agree with that. But honestly, it could have been Marignan, like any of his neighbors would be good targets.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's on the clock, right? He can take his time a little bit and vulture when it's safe, because I think a lot of times once you conquer a big nation, like he conquered a big nation, you need a little bit of time to
digest it, get your temples up, things like that.
Get your temples up, get more troops out, because if you think about it, before he had this much land producing this much land worth of troops, right? As soon as he conquers this, he now has this much land, but it's only producing the troops you have are just the troops you had from this much land, and now it's spread across twice as much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So your troop density gets diluted when you conquer stuff. So you kind of need a little bit of time sometimes to just chill. Yep. But vulturing is a form of chilling in my book. So
yeah. And looking at the map, I like Jomon, but I also kind of like Raga, like for Bogarus.
Oh yeah?
Well, because this is like the tip, like Raga is far away, like in terms of vulturing. Like if Bogarus were just to move his armies and take a few of those easternmost Ragan provinces. Now there's actually
I don't know, man.
Army on Satis, so he has to be ready to fight that.
I think you have to have major questions answered before you fight Raga. Like Raga is in many ways going to have better strategic mobility. So you have to have ways to defend your forts against doom stacks of birds. And then you have to have a doom stack of your own you're confident against the Ragan doom stack. And you have to have both those questions answered before you go after Raga.
So my thinking, I agree with that second part. My thinking is that the strategic movement is advantage for Raga is limited a bit in this case by how like out of position and way out in the boonies this battlefield would be for Raga. Like I think there'd have to be some diplomacy involved here, but like yes, Raga.
No, like Raga could just fly over and put this fort under check.
Okay, but if he does that, then like his whole army is there, and like his cap is like 10 provinces to the west, right? So now,
I mean, he's got Kalem troops and stuff. I mean, you could be right, but I think there's, like if this Bogarus army gets caught raiding out here, but on the same turn a Ragan army flies on top of this fort, just a free fort for Raga. So like those are the things you have to think about.
I guess my biggest sort of questioning about this whole idea of attacking Raga is that there does not, in fact, appear to be anybody who would pressure Raga closer to his home, right? That would be the idea.
Yeah.
And like, who's that going to be? Utgard is collapsing. Gath hasn't done anything
all game.
So that's sort of the problem here. So there's nobody else to.
Well, yeah, Raga. Atlantis who's busy and Marignan who's busy. So yeah.
So okay. And speaking of Marignan,
did we get some spicy battles? So he did not go for the cap.
He tried to intercept this. But in doing so, okay, Alm, interestingly, moving out to retake this thing that was Utgard's.
Right. And there's nobody to defend it. Nobody's in range. I don't think Marignon can get an army here.
Yeah. I think that
I think this is a mistake.
I think you go for the cap. Like, if you're willing to... on the one hand, I like the idea of grabbing up all the little provinces before you have the final cap battle. In general, I can get behind that. But the problem here is that you need to kind of get it over with so that you can go deal with Ulm.
Yeah.
Look, if he loses that Palisades to Ulm, it's not the end of the world. It's just a Palisades. He can get it back.
But
turns.
I mean, it's a little bit of a thing because let's see what he brought. Bunch of hot garbage.
Yeah.
Really hot garbage. So okay, maybe you can get something here, but
I think
you have to think about it this way: how many turns of this army are you spending? Like, he spent a lot of turns of this army to get this fort, right? And if he loses it to this little shit brigade, that's just
I think that what I don't like about this move is that Marignon didn't need. So first of all, you're never going to intercept. The way troop movement works is, Utgard had his big army on that province east of his capital. If Utgard wanted to, which he did, move that army onto his capital, then unless you're magic facing, you're never going to intercept his army, right? So Marignon was.
I think he knew that. I don't think he was trying to intercept. I think he was just.
Well, yes. So if you know that, then that means
you're just raiding with an army.
You're raiding, and you shouldn't be raiding with a Doomstack, right? If you knew that, then he should have just raided with a small army and moved the Doomstack onto the capital.
Yeah. And at least ping the cap too.
True,
maybe because I think we would see a ping, and maybe he had a scout here, but
no, you're right. He should be pinging. I totally agree with that. He should be sending scouts in there. Honestly, he should maybe even gembait the cap every turn, right?
Yeah, but I think I feel like he's getting cold feet. Like, I'm not sure I would get cold feet. I mean, there's all the sacreds he's built all game just about,
and there's a big monolith.
Yeah, so there's a lot of good reasons to get cold feet, but I think if you're getting cold feet, you don't come back and hover around the capital. You push up this way and do stuff that's army worthy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
In the Southlands, nothing much is happening.
Yeah.
And I think that's it for this turn.
Yeah, things have simplified now in this game.
Yeah. Let's call it here for this episode. How about that?
Yeah, that's a good time. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. See you soon.
All right. See you guys.